Hi everyone, this is Basilia for 5 for Nomad, and in my channel I share content about working online, traveling the world, and just living an awesome life. Okay, so I just want to use this video to recap my trip to Albania, guys. Oh my gosh, I visited Albania like I think last month, and I've been there twice now, and oh my gosh, how was the experience? What did I do? Where did I go? So guys, what was my first impression about it? So in this video I'm going to dive into that, so make sure you watch until the end, and let's go. So I visited Albania like a month or so ago. I've been there twice actually, and the only reason why I could visit as a Nigerian citizen without an Albanian visa was with a valid multiple entry UK visa. So because Podgorica is very close to Albania, I and my husband, the first time we went, we drove from Podgorica to Sarande, which is at the other end of Albania. So we spent like 6 hours on the road. But in general, from Podgorica, which is the capital of Montenegro, to Tirana, which is the capital of Albania, it's like a 3-hour drive. So it's nothing crazy. So, the first time I went to Albania, like it was pretty interesting because, going through the border was easy. Once I yes, it took a bit of time because I'm Nigerian and I have a UK visa and then I have to show them. But it was not stressful at all. I just went in, did my thing, passed the border, and while we were driving, like I rolled down my window because I like to do that, to smell the air of the country. And the first smell that I got was a smell of spices because we were driving through some farms, and I found that pretty cool. It's a nice memory to have of a country. And we drove and we drove and we drove. We passed through Durrës and Fear. We passed through the coast, and we drove all the way to Sarande, which is at the other end of the country. It was a pretty nice experience, but I noticed that like almost every Albanian has a Benz. Like having a Benz there is like a big thing. It's like a rite of passage. Rafi was joking, and he said that it seems like, how Jewish kids have a bat mitzvah when they're like 16. Probably for Albanian kids, when they turn 16, their father takes them to like a Benz store and shows them around, and that's like basically the jokes that were passed around when we go to Albania, because everyone has a Benz. It's like, come on, man, what's going on? Even the taxis are Benzes. And oh my god, another thing I noticed was that people like to exaggerate with their buildings. Like you're passing through some stupid village road and the next thing you see some palace with horse statues and flowers that are decorated like Versailles or something, and it's like, man, what's going on with you people? It's like, because it's a crazy contrast to the economic situation of the country. They say that Albania is one of the poorest countries in Europe and even in the Balkans. But when you go there, it's like everyone's with the Benz, regardless of the age of the Benz, and everyone has big houses. Exaggeration. It kind of reminds me of Nigeria, where people are trying to show their status with material things. Because in Nigeria, there are horrible roads, like bad roads. But yet people drive the Lamborghinis through potholes, and I'm like, you must be fucking stupid. Oh my gosh, and like trying to prove something and show their status, and then they have a huge house, but then the toilet doesn't flush. I don't know why I'm cracking myself up right now, but yeah, that's like typical Nigeria. I'm not saying this applies to everyone, but that's the standard stupidity, right? So yeah, Albania reminded me of Nigeria in that sense. So like, yeah, and we were driving and we got to Sarande, it was interesting. Once I crossed the border, I noticed the difference. Albania is not as organized as Montenegro, because Montenegro is on the way to joining the EU, right? But Albania, no, and everything's cheaper, although the price of gas is way higher than in Montenegro. The price of diesel is way higher, especially now. It was like €1 something. Their currency is lek, Albanian lek. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it well, but yeah. And I noticed another thing, like these countries in the Balkans, we all know them outside of the country as one name. For example, we all know Montenegro as Montenegro, everyone else, but within the country it's a different name. Montenegro is Crna Gora, Okay, and it's like, okay, it's the same with Albania. To everyone, Albania is Albania, but to them, it's Shqiporia or something. I know, right? Go figure, man. So yeah, it was such an interesting experience. So this first time that I went there, I went to Sarande, we went to the beach. Okay, I saw another black person actually, but I was one of the few black people there. And like the gypsy kids were begging on the promenade, and this sort of made me like annoyed because they were grabbing me. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why would you do that? I understand you're a kid, but don't fucking come close to me. You know what I mean? It was fucking annoying, and it ruined my experience in Sarande. And if you guys don't know, in the Balkans, there's this thing with gypsies, okay? I'm not saying this to hate on anyone. I'm just telling you guys what is going on here, right? And there's this thing with the gypsies, and they are people who are nomadic in nature in their culture. But the downside to it is that, you know, they don't work, they don't do anything, they just beg people and take things off the trash. No one wants anyone that does that to be around them, right? So like these people tend to, because it's a touristy place, Sarande, then they come to the promenade and they're begging people. But come on, you have a right to beg, I don't care. But don't now start grabbing me. Come on, man. It's not cool. And that sort of affected my experience there. But overall, it was nice, okay? And after Sarande, we went to Tirana. And I was surprised Tirana is so bumping. Oh my God. I started wishing, wow, should I move to Tirana now? It's so bumping. I mean, I live in Podgorica. And Podgorica is cute. You know, it's more European and there's things to do and all. But like in Tirana, there's so many options. And then even the second time I went to Tirana, oh my gosh, there's so many things to do, so many nice restaurants for cheap. Like, it's so cheap. I ate a sea bass fillet with some almond decoration on it and some nice thingy and whatever veggies, and I paid like 5 or 6 euros for that, for sea bass fillet, guys, properly done with a huge bowl of exotic salad for like 3 euros. Here for the sea bass fillet I would pay probably 12 euros or 10, between 10 and 12 euros, right? So it was pretty interesting to see that. Wow, like things are way more affordable in Albania. Like you pay small money for amazing things, and there's so many American Albanians are obsessed with Americans. Oh my gosh. Like, not America. Okay, yes, with Americans, but with America. Rafi told me it's because of their history where America helped them fight the war against Serbia or something. I don't know these things. If you want to know that, fine, Google it or so. But because of that, they're obsessed with America and American culture. And they have these restaurants that are called Brooklyn and hotels that are called Miami. And there's American flags everywhere. And there's American influences. There's McDonald's. I think there's KFC, maybe. And then there's a Kylie and Kendall shop. I've never seen that, actually. And it was surprising to see that. And there's a Burger King. There's all these American influences. And it's interesting. And they have a lot of bars and a lot of places, and wow, it's so amazing. Like, it was really a nice experience. And then I found this place called Caplet. It's like a restaurant. You go there and there's no menu, and it's like you come there and, you know, they just tell you what they have, and you go there to have a 3-course meal. The first one is tasting, and they bring you a platter of appetizers, and you try that. And next, they bring the cold starters, and then they bring the warm starters. It's like platters, and then they bring the main, and they serve you wine in this thing, and the whole decoration is this, and it's overlooking the city. And we had such an amazing experience, and I'm like, wow. And how much did I pay? 13 euros or so per person for a mind-blowing experience that I've never had before. And I'm like, wow. You know, I mean, when I was in Albania, I was like, I want to move here. But then when I came back to Podgorica, I'm like, okay, I know why I'm living in Podgorica, because of ease. And there's not too many people, right? So me, my perfect lifestyle is weekdays in Podgorica, weekends in Albania. That is perfect for me. I go and I have fun, spend all my money, and I come back here and continue my life, right? So yeah, that was so amazing for me. And the creepiest experience that I had in Albania was going to a bunker museum. And this museum was during communist times, and it's like all these little bunker rooms in underground, and that's the creepiest experience I've ever had in my life. Then you go to a torture room, and you go through all these rooms here and seeing their history, and then at the end of it you go to the military dictator's apartment underground, and you see their... Dude, that was... I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I think I will put the pictures on the screen for you to even have an idea, but nothing compares to that experience. Right? Like, it was so crazy, man, the experience that I had. So yeah, I had an amazing time in Albania. I noticed that, the Slavic people, which the Montenegrins are, they're a bit better looking than the Albanians, because the Albanians are shorter in height and look different. They don't have this Slavic look. I'm not saying they're bad people. The Albanians are the nicest people ever. Like, if you think Montenegrins are nice, the Albanians are much nicer. Like, so nice. Like, some lady, her tire got burst on the road, and before you know, everyone's out trying to help her fix it. And wow, that was amazing. And they're nice, they're friendly, they want to help you, they will do anything to help you. Albanians are some of the nicest people ever, and it's a cheap place. It's a great place to live. If you're looking for a place where you can have this modern vibe, where you can feel like you're in a city with the pulse, Albania really reminded me of Tel Aviv, actually, because not Albania, Tirana reminded me a lot of Tel Aviv, because Tel Aviv is bumping day and night. It's on. You can feel the pulse of the city. There's a lot of things to do, a lot of things to explore. At night, it comes alive, and it's the same with Tirana. Like, I caught more of a vibe in Tirana than in Belgrade, actually. Belgrade just felt bigger. And, yes, I had a nice time in Belgrade with all the things going on at night and the jazz bar and blah. But Albania, you feel it alive. You see people on the streets, and even on Sundays they're open. Here on Sundays, like, a ghost town in Podgorica, every shop is closed and stuff. So yeah, pretty amazing experience. I feel like when it comes to relocation, because I know some of you from watching this video, you'll be like, okay, maybe I should relocate there. So I feel like it's much easier, or it could be a lot easier to relocate to Albania than to Montenegro, because Montenegro is trying to join the EU, and they're quite strict when it comes to third world country nationals. And what do I mean by that? It's people from Nigeria, from Ghana, from all these places in Africa, from all these countries like in Asia, all these small countries. They're quite strict when it comes to third world country nationals, because they don't want to dilute or overpopulate their country with all these foreigners that are not well-to-do or something like that. I don't understand it a lot, but I know that it's not so easy to relocate to Montenegro. A lot of people have been sending me these emails, actually, asking how they can relocate here. And I told them, look, it's not so easy. You have to have quite a bit of cash to do so, actually. And I know we made a video about that, but I feel like I'm more informed now about these things, and I might make another video about that sometime. But I feel like Albania, because while I was in Albania, I was starting to feel like I wanted to relocate there. So we actually contacted a lawyer or so to talk about how we could relocate there, and they gave us the whole breakdown. I feel like I will make another video talking about that. But yeah, so far I feel like Albania might be easier to relocate to. So if you're thinking of relocating, maybe I'll make a video about that to sort of guide you. You can also start Googling and researching to see how this can be done as well. Yeah, and I feel like it's a more bumping place. If you're young, if you're single, and you feel like you want to be in a place with pulse and not in a small place like Podgorica or in Montenegro, where everything's more European-ish and there's less diversity, then Albania might be the right choice, I would say. So I also went to the UEFA Nations League in Albania between Israel and Albania. I watched the game in their new-ass huge stadium, and oh my gosh, it was a crazy experience. Yes, the first time I went to a stadium was in Montenegro for my first match ever, and it was interesting or so. But the stadium in Albania is huge, and wow, it was mayhem. It was crazy. Like, during that game, there was so many people, and oh my gosh, it was such a nice experience, actually. And I caught the vibe. There were so many people. It was such a nice experience. Yeah, this is the recap of my trip to Albania, guys. Am I forgetting something? I don't know, but I had an amazing experience, and it made me realize that there are so many places in the world that if you work online and you earn outside of the local economy, you can live quite well. Imagine if you're earning $1,000 working online as a freelancer and you live in Albania. gosh, you are the king of the world. Like, you will literally be lying down in gold. I also went to this restaurant called the Jekko Imperial. Rafi took me there because Rafi knows how to enjoy, you know, he knows all the best spots. Dude, when I went there, oh my God. I will save this for another day. But yes, you know, if you earn over $1,000, you will be the king of the world in Albania because there's good accommodation. People are nice. It's affordable. You know, there's so many things that will remind you of the first world, you know, like all these nice restaurants. There's diversity. There's a cultural scene there and it's just great. Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Maybe I've blabbered on and on and on and on and on, but you know, I'm still excited for my trip and I cannot wait to go back. I've been there twice now. It was amazing. I can't wait to go back. And yeah, if you have any questions about Albania, you can ask me. If I know the answer, I would answer. If I don't, I might refer you to some websites where you can find out this information. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Don't forget to give me some likes. I want those likes. Your likes are important to me. And also, don't forget to hit subscribe. I will do my best to keep sharing this content. The whole point of this is to give you information so that you can use to make more informed decisions about your lifestyle or what you want to do, and also to entertain you, I hope. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.